This video is for entertainment purposes only. All photos have been found in the public domain and are fair use and fair dealing. Just a little disclaimer today, my speech is slightly affected. I take quite heavy duty medications for a condition that I have, which means that my speech can be a little bit haywire and all over the place. So if you do find it frustrating, I really am sorry and I really can't help it. So please bear with me if my voice sounds a little bit distorted today. Thank you very much. Hello, it's the weekend. Woo! It's Saturday, the 3rd of August, and tomorrow is in fact Meghan's birthday. And what better way to celebrate her birthday than updating you, her loving fans, on a new Murky Meg video. So let's get cracking, shall we? So I did a little poll about a week ago, and the most requested video was whether or not the reputation of Harry and Meghan is salvageable and whether or not it's at breaking point. So we all know that lies seem to fly out of both of their mouths without a second thought, but how long can this continue without the public calling them out for it? There's only so much damage that an already fragile reputation can take, surely. So today a story came out that Meghan is releasing a children's book. If it wasn't so laughable, I'd cry, to be quite honest. The Duchess of Sussex is wanting to write a children's book which could feature her beloved rescue dogs, according to an insider. Are these the same dogs she had in Canada? Because I've done research here. Bogart, her beloved dog, was deemed too old to fly. In an interview with Meghan in 2013, she confirmed that Bogart was 3. Then, in 2016, just under 3 years later, she said that she couldn't take him from Canada when she moved to England because he was too old. He was too old at nearly 6. Jesus, woman, that's hardly old. In fact, in dog years, that makes him a grand old age of 37. Does that make you too old to fly as well, Meghan? Sadly, because this poor little pup was age-shamed by her, Bogart remained in Canada. Although his whereabouts have never actually been made clear, the Royal Press Secretary said that Bogart would be living with very good friends in Canada. Yes, that's right. A Royal Press Secretary released an official statement about Bogart. Anyway, Guy, her beagle, did, however, make the treacherous journey across the pond to Blighty. There's been rumours, though, unconfirmed, I have to state, that Guy broke a few legs while bouncing around some royal residence. Let's face it, Meghan's had quite a few royal residents. The accident is understood to have happened shortly after her engagement to Prince Harry at the end of November. Funnily enough, he's never been heard of since. Which actually leads me nicely onto the first thing I want to talk about. Reputation is a fickle and fragile thing. To hold it and lose it is careless but easily done. So going back to her pooches, it seems Meghan is basing her books on them, or possibly just Guy, because, well, you know, Bogart got markled. Anyway, I digress. Reputations are made through making sure you're authentic and not plagiarising or copying ideas. Surely Meghan would know that. She wouldn't steal an idea, would she? Look what I found on Amazon. His Royal Dogness, Guy the Beagle, the story of Meghan Markle's rescued dog by Camille March. Well, best change your idea then, Markle. You don't want to be pestered with those plagiarism stories again. Does this woman have any original thoughts? Because If you've not seen it, please go back and watch my previous video about the Vogue plagiarism. The link is in the description. Then we have Harry, whose reputation has really taken a wobble this week. It's hanging in the balance for him. He keeps wanging on about climate change, how we all must be responsible and do our bit. Seriously, Harry, mate, you can no longer preach to anybody about their carbon footprint. This last week has showed us what a stupid sheep you really are. Not only did Google pay for a private jet and a helicopter to ferry Prince Harry from London to Italy for its climate change summit, but he made the speech barefoot. Oh, so freeing. So if Harry did fly private, and it is assumed that he did because Buckingham Palace are not saying a damn thing, it would have put around 3 tons of carbon into the atmosphere, 10 times more than going commercial. So can this pair continue on this path of seemingly self-destruction and still stay afloat? When was your moment that things shifted and the air of mistrust crept in? I think it doesn't help with the daily onslaught of PR pieces being touted in the media. Then we have that whole debacle about the Instagram voting force for change thing. I've done another video, pop back, links in the description. And the media haven't really reported in it. There's been a few little flurries in the media, but not in droves. I would have expected them to jump on this. Why? Why haven't the media picked up this juicy little story? Are we being fed selective stories? Have the press been gagged? We've seen super injunctions before in the UK media, usually used by mega rich celebrities who have done something either naughty or shady, and they apply for these high court super injunctions so the press can never name them. They can allude to it, but can they never actually name them? And if they do, they'll be slapped heavily in court, possibly with a sentence and a humongous fine. Could this be what's going on? Could the UK media have been warned not to rock the boat? Do you think their relationship with the public is so fragile, or is it all a power play to become the victim? It's an intriguing idea, and also, I might add, a classic narcissist play. But by drip feeding slightly negative press, may well give the impression that she's being victimised or bullied. Does this then lead the public to become more sympathetic towards her? One thing I do know, by constantly breaking the rules and protocols, they are defiantly damaging not only their reputation, but the whole of the royal families. It seems like they're careering from one disaster to another, and aides are saying that the Sussexes just do not take advice. Is that a risky move, do you think, not to take advice from those that know this fickle royal world inside and out? Should they start to take this seriously and listen to people before the damage is completely irreparable? So much surrounding them is shady and conflicting. The birth was just a shambles, with the media being blocked out, which ultimately leads to people think that they have something to hide. I'd like to know how the press in other parts of the world are reporting on them. Is it all sunshine and light, or is the shade starting to come in? The fact that Meghan is capable of viciously cutting people out of her life that she no longer finds useful is very worrying indeed. If Harry becomes obsolete to her, will he get pushed out? The whole fiasco with the out-of-control spending at Frogmore House has made a huge dent in their reputation, and the renovations haven't even been finished yet. There's an online petition in Brighton and Hove, which is located actually in Sussex, which has been launched to strip the Duke and Duchess of Sussex of their link to the county. The petition states, "As residents of Brighton and Hove, we call on Brighton and Hove Council not to refer to these individuals by such titles which we believe to be entirely non-democratic and symbolic of the oppression of the general public by the wealthy elite." Neither will Brighton Council invite or entertain these individuals nor afford them any hospitality or courtesies above and beyond that of an ordinary member of the public. The petition aims to establish a precedent that Brighton and Hove Council will no longer afford official hospitality to those royals or aristocratic titles or make use of those titles in official documents, as these titles are arbitrary and unfairly acquired. This to me sums up the general feeling of the British taxpayers. We are saturated with them. It's media overload, and quite frankly, it's exhausting. Well, not for me, because it keeps me able to doing these particular videos, but the constant daily drivel is getting tiresome. They've been accused several times of testing the public's patience. Princess Diana's former secretary, Patrick Jepson, urged Meghan and Harry's team to change how the royal couple engages with the public after a number of attempts to keep their affairs private. Failing to do so will only weaken the affection the public has for the couple, already withering by a series of faux pas. If the aides and people who have worked for the royals are telling them to change, surely the writing is on the wall. What do you think? Is it salvageable? Their reputation, can they claw it back? Personally, for one, I think that they need to take stock and start to listen to those around them. They know how to handle the public. They have experience. Listen to those people and do what they say. Secondly, Meghan needs to stop spending outrageous amounts of money on clothes, because that's what's doing her more damage at the moment. This country is on its knees with Brexit and austerity, and seeing her flaunt around in thousands of pounds worth of clothes just leaves a really bad taste in our mouths. And thirdly, I think they need to stop preaching, stop telling us how we should live, what we should do, or how we need to change, because you need to lead by example and then others will follow. Otherwise, your reputation is in tatters. What do you think? Is it salvageable, or has the damage already been done? Is this breaking point for both of them? Can they come back? Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. I'm probably going to take a day off tomorrow. I'm tired and I need a rest, so I shall see you back, unless something juicy happens, of course, but I will probably see you back on Monday. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you very much. Goodbye.